Circuit City's big grand opening is going on now, and all area stores are celebrating with unbeatable low prices. Every Sony and RCA TV, VCR, and camcorder is on sale. Every home CD player is on sale, and every appliance is on sale now. Don't miss the savings at Circuit City's big grand opening sale, going on now.
Welcome to Circuit City, where service is state of the art.
Count to 10, Monday for Newswatch 10 at 6.
This week, Siskel and Ebert review, Police Chief Clint Eastwood pursuing kidnapper Kevin Costner in A Perfect World. Drifter Gabriel Byrne romances Barbara Hershey and Debra Winger in A Dangerous Woman. An estranged father, Robin Williams, becomes his children's nanny in Mrs. Doubtfire.
This is not a penal escape situation. This happens to be a manhunt. And no talking around in circles is going to fix all that.
And what will?
Clint Eastwood directs himself as a Texas Ranger on a manhunt for a tragic outlaw played by Kevin Costner in A Perfect World, one of 5 big new holiday films we'll be reviewing this week on Siskel and Ebert, along with new movies starring such other heavyweights as Robin Williams, Debra Winger, and Macaulay Culkin. I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune.
And I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times. Our first movie is A Perfect World, and this is the first movie directed by Clint Eastwood since he won the Academy Award for Unforgiven. It's a film which seems to be about the hunt for an escaped convict, but is actually the subtle and sensitive and suspenseful story of a friendship that develops between a desperate man on the run and the boy he takes as a hostage. The convict is played by Kevin Costner, the boy by T.J. Lowther. And on the road in rural Texas in 1963, they develop a relationship mostly based on the Costner character's feelings from his own unhappy childhood. Desperate as he is, Costner never seems in a hurry and wants to become almost a substitute father.
This is a 20th century time machine. I'm the captain, and you're the navigator. Out there, that's the future. And back there, well, that's the past.
Meanwhile, the hunt for Costner is commanded by a veteran Texas Ranger played by Clint Eastwood. He doesn't quite know what to make of a newfangled criminologist played by Laura Dern, who specializes in psychological profiles of criminals.
The idea is that an understanding of the particular behavioral case history should, in parole situations, help the subject to avoid habitual traps. And in penal escape situations, could conversely identify those self-same traps as an aid to apprehension.
At a key moment in their escape, the convict and the boy stop at a department store. Costner has just evaded some police cars in this scene and returned to pick up the boy, who's stolen a Halloween costume and so is afraid of being arrested.
Up to you, Buzz.
You never got away with it, you little mister!
You ain't so friendly.
The movie has an evocative and haunting feel for life on the road, as in this scene where the fugitives stop at a roadside diner and the waitress, played by Linda Hart, makes an unmistakable overture to the man.
Well, his biological mother is alive. Gave him up for adoption to me and my wife. My dead wife, that is. She was Phil, Buzz's stepmother. So she's his mom. Was his mom. Stepmom. But she's dead.
I'm so sorry.
And the name of that diner, by the way, I can't resist this, was Dottie's Squat and Gobble, which I thought was just about the best restaurant name in movie history. Squat and Gobble. When you summarize the plot of A Perfect World, you wind up being sort of misleading because this movie is much more than the sum of its parts. It's a very deep, quiet, subtle, poetic film, a tragedy that had its roots in one childhood and is now threatening to spoil another childhood. And the relationship between the Eastwood and Costner characters, which is only slowly revealed, adds a whole additional dimension. This is not the kind of movie that's about chases and getaways and shootouts, although it has all of those things. It's about personalities and dreams and fears, and it's very fine work. I think perhaps the best directing job that Clint Eastwood has ever done.
Well, I'm always partial to Bronco Billy. I think that's a vastly underrated film of his. It's just marvelous. This picture I like, too. There's an aspect I want to talk about, which you didn't mention. I think that this movie is really sort of a meditation on what is real violence. And I think that the real violence this film is very clear about is violence directed at children. It goes in Costner's past, and there's another child that we meet who is treated badly by his grandfather, I believe. And that is where we see the real violence come out, and that kind of violence is passed along.
Now, that's a very good point. There are some men who are shot in this movie.
Right.
They're all shot off screen.
Right.
We do not see anyone shot on screen. We do see a couple of times when kids are whacked by their fathers, and we really feel the pain of that, and you can see that it bothers Costner.
Right.
And that by projection it bothers Eastwood in his own way too. And that's a very good point, Gene. This is a very subtle movie. It's not necessarily about what it seems to be about.
I think it's very much about violence directed at children, and it's very much about guns and what they are used for. It continues, Eastwood continues to, I think, sort of almost apologize for some of his earlier popular career where he romanticized violence.
Well, what about the scenes where the Costner gives the little boy the gun and says, now you cover him? Now that's a very interesting scene.
You bet. Okay, next movie, and it's the new animated dinosaur film produced by Steven Spielberg called We're Back, A Dinosaur Story, and expectations have been running really high for this picture, coming on the really big heels of Spielberg's other dinosaur picture, Jurassic Park. But this film, in a word, I think stinks. It's a confused story, an unattractive drawing style, no good songs, no laughs. Am I making myself clear? Here are 4 dinosaurs having been given intelligence pills, and they meet a good scientist with a voice that's, I think, too recognizable. He's going to transport them to present-day New York.
It's a wish radio. I can hear what people are wishing for, especially young people, because they wish the loudest.
In New York, the dinosaurs, if you're following this, are asked to help cheer up some unhappy children.
Dinosaurs, huh? You got that look.
Nice to meet you.
Cecilia Nuthatch. I'm very pleased to meet you.
The only real production number occurs when the dinosaurs take part in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, which the filmmakers have going in the wrong direction.
There, right there. That's our ticket uptown. Let's hang a Louie and head on back.
Half of this movie is over by the time we get to that scene. That's where I thought the picture should have begun. It's the only energized moment in the film, which seemed terribly long to me, and it lasted just over an hour. There are characters and situations that rip off such classic films as Pinocchio, Dumbo, and Close Encounters of the Third Kind, as an evil circus master tries to turn the dinosaurs back into life-threatening creatures. I think little kids may be frightened by We're Back, A Dinosaur's Story, and older kids are certain to be bored. Now, if your kids are all over you to take them to this picture because of the big ad campaign, stick around for our Laserdisc pick of the month at the end of this show, because I've got a great alternative, a much better animated dinosaur picture, also produced by Steven Spielberg.
This was a real long, real slow movie. And you know, actually, the stakes have gone up in the animated stakes. Animated movies have gotten better. And a movie like this, which probably could have gotten by 10 years ago, maybe, it won't get by anymore. There's just no entertainment value to it.
Did the voice of Walter Cronkite just really ring hollow there?
Well,
it's not his fault. They shouldn't have been cast in it.
Yeah, well, of course, you have Julia Child, too. You have a lot of people.
But his voice is probably the most distinctive voice, and he comes on, and it's such arch dialogue.
Now, that's an odd criticism, Gene, because the fact is, for the kids who see this movie, they won't know that Walter Cronkite was on the news. So the voice will be new to them. Think about it. You're getting older, old man. You're getting older.
We all are, I think. Even those little kids are getting older.
Especially you.
When we come back, Robin Williams disguises himself as a middle-aged nanny in Mrs. Doubtfire.
I know you're used to loosey-goosey, but I run a much tighter ship.
Introducing Campbell's Cream of Chicken and Broccoli Soup. The great-tasting new soup that makes great recipes that practically make themselves. New Campbell's Cream of Chicken and Broccoli Soup. Campbell's.
She was always taking care of something. If she wasn't putting your mittens back on your mitten clips, she was bringing home her umpteenth stray kitten. Your big sister gives everyone she meets so much. This Christmas, give her something back. For your sister and all the special people in your life, Hallmark has individual Christmas cards as special as they are.
Hallmark has the ways to say you care. Entertainment. What did future rock and roller Richard Penniman say when he quit his job as a dishwasher?
The Trivial Pursuit All-American Edition. Is anyone not playing this game?
Hi, Oprah.
Hi.
Where do you get your clothes? You've got the best clothes in the world.
Thank you.
Hey, Oprah, what's the fish doing there with you?
I'm getting the answers to your questions, Southern New England. So turn to 10 Monday for Newswatch 10 at 6.
Barbosa's Auto World and Silver City are ready to talk turkey. So slice our prices to the bone. Surplus 94 allocations have forced us to take any offer directly to management for immediate approval. New Ford, Hyundai, Dodge, Toyota, Oldsmobile, GMC truck, even new Cadillacs and Coachman RVs, all with no down payment, no payments till spring of next year, and no credit hassle. Plus, we'll pay off your trade no matter how much you owe. Now through Monday only. Barbosa's Auto World in Fall River and Silver City, Ford, Hyundai, Coachman, Dodge, Toyota, Raynham.
You can't always tell who caused an accident by looking at the cars involved.
The other driver often sues you even though you're not at fault. Without the right legal advice, you could lose your case.
Skid marks, angle of impact, and eyewitness accounts can all help prove what really happened.
Our team of investigators and our 20 years of experience will ensure you receive the full compensation you deserve.
If you've been hurt in an accident, call Abrams & Berry now.
We'll make the legal system work for you.
What are the biggest stories of '93? Southern New England's Top 10, Monday on Newswatch 10, the night team at 11.
Instant eye lift.
Wow. And you'll never see the strings that'll be under the wig.
The man has 5 o'clock shadow at 8:30 a.m. and you're worried about strings?
All right, we'll start with makeup.
That's Robin Williams as a newly divorced actor who desperately wants to spend more time with his children in the new comedy Mrs. Doubtfire. So Williams goes to his brother, played by Harvey Fierstein, a makeup expert. He wants a disguise so perfect it will fool even his ex-wife and kids, and he gets one, applying for a job as their nanny.
What a perfectly appointed little cubby. Look at this. Everything has its place and name tag. How precise. It's lovely.
That's Sally Field as his former wife, who is now Mrs. Doubtfire's new employer. And Mrs. Doubtfire takes over the house every afternoon to look after the kids before their mother comes home from work. He turns out to be a better nanny than, in a way, he was a father.
It's homework time, okay?
Yeah, but after Dick Van Dyke.
No. Now.
Meanwhile, while trying to make the officer from the custody court happy, Williams explains how he plans to get work by using his gift for mimicry and accents. That provides an excuse for a scene like this, which seems to be worked into every Robin Williams movie, whether it's needed or not.
Look at me right now, Moneypenny. I want to undo that bow and get to know you.
I'm crazy to make a deal with you. Nancy and I are still looking for the other half of my head.
I'm sitting on a gold mine. Don't make me smack you, sweetheart. I'll do it.
The situation grows even more agonizing for Williams after his ex-wife starts seeing another man, a suave Englishman played by Pierce Brosnan. It's hate at first sight, but of course, Mrs. Doubtfire must hold in her real feelings.
Miranda's been raving about you.
Odd. She's never mentioned you.
No?
No.
Well, it's good to meet you.
You too.
Yes. I have a home in London. I was born there. What part of England are you from?
Here and there, dear. All over, really.
Yes? Accent's a little kind of muddled there.
Really? Well, so's your tan.
Mrs. Doubtfire is funny at times, but not that funny, and I guess it's supposed to be sort of moving, too, that a father would go through such an effort for his children, but somehow I never saw a father there. I only saw Robin Williams in a role that was tailor-made to exploit his talent for impersonation without ever really using his talent as an actor.
Well, I enjoyed this film a lot, Roger, and I think that the problem may be for some people, they're going to compare this against Tootsie.
Oh, yeah.
And Tootsie is a classic, great American film. This is not in that league, but I think there's some sequences that are, and I'm particularly talking about scenes that you didn't get the chance to show, and that is a scene where Robin Williams has to run in the restaurant. This is a long chunk of the film.
And it didn't work.
Oh, my God, I think that is classic farce.
It never took off.
And he has to play Mrs. Doubtfire in one part of the restaurant with his wife and kids.
Yes.
Then he has to play the struggling actor trying to get a job on his TV station with his boss. And the running before, I tell you, there was genuine tension developed.
That scene was set up as a kind of screwball classic scene,
and I think it is.
Never paid off on that level.
I think that is wonderful.
They just couldn't get it to work.
I thought that was wonderful, and I think that there are tender moments in the film, too. There are some, the little sequence you saw of that you said at the employment office, that's kind of silly.
Yes, it is.
But that's a minute out of a really enjoyable film.
Coming up next, the biggest child star in the world, Macaulay Culkin, puts on his dancing shoes to play a part in the holiday classic, The Nutcracker Ballet.
Welcome to Captain's Catch, where we provide the freshest seafood available. Unlike supermarkets, we truly buy our fish daily. No chemicals, preservatives, or freezing is necessary. Choose from over 100 varieties of seafood displayed in 2 locations, on Mineral Spring Avenue in North Providence and Oaklawn Avenue in Cranston. We're stocking all your holiday favorites, as well as our delicious heat-and-serve appetizers and entrees. If you're looking for fresh fish, you're looking for Captain's Catch. Watch for our weekly specials in Wednesday's Providence Journal Food section.
Zenith presents AVI, advancing color television to a new level with Zenith's highest contrast and sharpest resolution ever, controlling your VCR, video games, and cable boxes. With Zenith's high-performance audio systems, AVI is Zenith's most advanced feature ever. AVI, tomorrow's technology today. Watch us.
AVI, now available at the following Zenith dealers.
And that's Macaulay Culkin, of course, and choreographer George Balanchine's The Nutcracker, featuring members of the New York City Ballet. And with that pedigree, I was kind of surprised to be bored by the flat visual approach of director Emile Ardolino. I didn't think that this movie really sparkled as good as some of the dancing is. You know the story. As a little girl on Christmas Eve sees her magical uncle's Nutcracker come to life, here in the form of Macaulay Culkin. Later, in a winter fantasy, he and the girl, danced by Jessica Lynn Cohen, are enveloped by snowflake ballerinas. And then the girl and the Nutcracker Prince sit and watch an interminable ballet of sweet fantasies danced for them. Yes, I really did mean to use the word interminable. I was squirming. The children, 4 girls that I brought to the film, were squirming too. I think even at just 90 minutes, this film version of the Nutcracker needs editing. I constantly wanted to see it live as I was watching this picture. That's not a good comment when you're watching a movie.
And it top lines Macaulay Culkin, who has a lot of fans, and they're going to go, and what are they going to see?
Not much.
They're going to see a little kid in the corner of the screen smiling, and then he sits behind a table and smiles, and some of those shots are so badly lit that you can't even see him
way back
there.
in the background.
It's really bad. And he doesn't do anything.
No.
And as for the dancing, it's all just basically, you know, cut and paste. Yeah,
it's front on, and unless you're, you know, I mean, I know some of these ballet members, and they're terrific. Darcy Kistler is a wonderful dancer, but she's photographed in a very flat style, and you say, I would like to see it, I want to be there, I'm not enjoying this picture.
You've got it. When we come back, Debra Winger is trapped in an unwise romance in A Dangerous Woman.
Why won't you talk to me? One, you can tell me what's wrong with me.
We brought you the most fantastic adventure under the sea with The Little Mermaid. We brought you the most romantic story of all time with Beauty and the Beast.
But we're not through yet.
Now we proudly present the hottest movie under the sun. At last, Aladdin is on video. Big group hug. It's the most successful Disney hit movie of all time. Make this Academy Award-winning film yours.
All right!
Own the most popular Disney movie ever.
Hang on!
Aladdin, now on video for a limited time.
I tried to stop.
I just kept going back.
I can't control myself.
What's harder to resist than Orville Redenbacher's buttered popcorn? New Redenbutters. more buttery taste than you can imagine, drizzling over every square inch of Orville's butterfly kernels.
I love it.
In 3 irresistible flavors. Movie theater butter, urban garlic butter, and zesty butter. New Red Butters.
That's cool.
A Dangerous Woman is a movie it's almost impossible to define. Part love story, part social drama, part tenderness, part violence. The movie stars Debra Winger as a mentally retarded woman who has lived for many years with a relative about the same age, played by Barbara Hershey. One day, an unpredictable scenario is set in motion when an alcoholic drifter turns up at their place looking for work. He's played by Gabriel Byrne.
Okay. Thanks. I'll wait.
She wouldn't like that.
What was she like?
You should come back in daylight. And you should get cleaned up.
Infatuated, the Winger character gets a new hairdo and then stumbles into a tense scene between the handyman and his employer, Barbara Hershey.
How could you let someone do this to you? This is my flair. Oh, God, Martha, this is just like you.
Byrne and Winger eventually sleep with one another, and later he tries to apologize for his drunken mistake in judgment.
I can't be what you want me to be. I can't be there for you. You can't depend on me.
I could love you.
The plot gets more complicated when the Winger character, now pregnant, is accused of murder. Hershey tries to save her.
There doesn't even have to be a trial. All you have to do is say that he raped you once before and he was trying to do it again.
He didn't rape me. That never happened.
Well, made love to you then. Look, somebody did. You're going to have a baby. You don't have to lie, Martha.
I don't lie.
The plot of A Dangerous Woman is so convoluted it's hard to really get with the flow, but the plot is not the most important thing about this movie. What I liked above all was Debra Winger's performance as Martha, who's stubbornly honest and always does the best she can. I found myself looking at the detail in the performance, the way her eyes, for example, would study someone's face while they were talking, and the matter-of-fact way that she walked. This is very good acting in a movie that has a lot of effective moments despite its somewhat overwrought plot.
I've had the same kind of reaction to the picture. She does a wonderful job. This is a film that's sort of being touted as her candidacy, Debra Winger's candidacy for an Oscar, along the kind of Rain Man, kind of Dustin Hoffman quality of the mentally trouble-filled person. But I want to say that Barbara Hershey, in her own way, I think does this as an interesting job. Not as flashy a character, but here's a woman who is obviously unhappy, and she's reaching out for all kinds of men. And that story of who's the more dangerous woman is a comment on the title. I think the point of the title, and it's 2 good performances inside this picture, and I think they're worth seeing.
Well, you know, for that matter, let's go all the way with Gabriel Byrne, too, who has a very difficult role to play here because he sometimes does the wrong thing and knows he's doing the wrong thing and can't stop himself, and then he feels bad.
Yes, it's 3 good performances. There we go. Coming up next, a much better animated dinosaur picture for you and your kids to enjoy, much better than the just released and badly reviewed We're Back.
It's Oodles, the adult game where answering the oodles is oodles of fun. Yeah, like an insect's hairdo starting with B. Beehive.
Or what about stupid weights with a D?
Dumbbell.
It's Oodles. Look, one player is the MC and asks hilarious riddle-like questions, and your team has to solve them.
Italian window treatment with a V.
Venetian blinds.
So what's the answer to fun?
Starting with O?
Oodles.
The adult game where answering the oodles.
It's oodles of fun.
Oh, Mr. Energizer Bunny, out for a stroll.
Matter desolidificator will put an end to your precious little source of power. Your hippity-hoppity days are over.
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer battery. It keeps going and going.
It's not fun being single these days.
It's frustrating trying to find someone compatible my own age.
I want to meet somebody at my own pace, without all that pressure.
I'm very busy, so when I have free time, I want to spend it with someone who enjoys the same things I do.
If you're having trouble meeting compatible singles, call the Singles Line at 1-976-1200. Since 1989, we've helped thousands of people find that special someone. It's inexpensive, easy to use, and available 24 hours a day. And with your own personal access code, it's completely confidential.
The singles line has made being single fun again.
I'm finally getting to know compatible people my own age.
I'm meeting people at my own pace, and I don't even have to give out my phone number.
The singles line lets me find people with my own interests 24 hours a day.
The Singles Line. Call 1-976-1200. Just 99 cents a minute. That's 1-976-1200.
The singles line worked for us.
I'd recommend it to everyone.
WJAR Channel 10 welcomes La Cage aux Folles, winner of 6 Tony Awards, including Best Musical, December 3rd through the 5th at the Providence Performing Arts Center.
Hi, Oprah.
Hi.
How did you lose all that weight?
What's the deal with the marriage? What's with this guy?
Has there ever been a show that you've regretted doing?
Good question.
I want to know how you became the highest paid black person in America.
What's the priest doing there with you?
I'm getting the answers to your questions, Southern New England. So turn to 10 Monday for Newswatch 10 at 6.
The Siskel and Ebert Laserdisc Pick of the Month is brought to you by Pioneer Home Theater. You don't just watch it.
Now it's time for our Laserdisc Pick of the Month. And earlier in the show, I acknowledged that it might be difficult to hold off your kids who might be salivating to see We're Back, a Dinosaur's Story. Well, here's the way to do it. Tell them old Uncle Gene has a better animated dinosaur film for them to see. It's called The Land Before Time, and it was produced by the very same man, Steven Spielberg, also responsible for We're Back. But look at these magical scenes that really capture the majesty of a dinosaur.
A tree star.
It is very special, and it'll help you grow strong.
The story involves a baby brontosaurus meeting up with 4 other young dinosaurs and having adventures with them.
He'll eat us! He'll eat us! Run! Back!
This is a really good-looking picture, a lot of fun. The story is easy for kids to understand. The graphics are clean and beautiful. The Land Before Time, also available on tape, is our Laserdisc Pick of the Month. Now let's recap the movies we reviewed on this show. 2 thumbs up for Clint Eastwood's A Perfect World with Kevin Costner, a fresh meditation on what really constitutes violence and what constitutes a bad guy. 2 thumbs down for the animated We're Back, a Dinosaur's Story, a dreadful hack job that seems out of date with today's advancements in animated features. A split vote on Robin Williams in Mrs. Doubtfire. Tootsie it's not, but I really enjoyed the farcical aspects of the story and its good heart. Roger didn't think it was funny enough and found Robin Williams doing his familiar thing too often. My thumb up, Roger's down. 2 thumbs down on George Balanchine's The Nutcracker, the ballet on film. Neither one of us enjoyed the staging of this film. And finally, 2 thumbs up for A Dangerous Woman with Debra Winger, Barbara Hershey, and Gabriel Byrne, all compelling in stories of characters trapped in their lives. So the picture we like the best, I think, is the Eastwood picture, A Perfect World.
I was really surprised. I expected it to be good. I didn't expect it to be that good. That's it for this week. Next week, we'll be back with our annual Holiday Video Gift Guide, a special program. We have a lot of fun with this, in which we review videos you might want to give or receive, and also take a look at new electronic gadgets. And Gene and I go 3 rounds against each other in a new interactive video game. That's at this same time next week, and until then, the balcony is closed.
It's America's favorite jelly bean, Jelly Belly, now in new 20 and 40 flavor gift boxes. The original gourmet jelly bean, Jelly Belly. Fashion Bug for the latest in junior, Mrs. Plus, even girls and men's fashions. 1,200 stores coast to coast. Fashion Bug fits your life. St. Ives Swiss Formula Collagen Elastin Lotion. Made to work in the harsh Swiss Alps, St. Ives Swiss Formula relieves dry skin instantly, naturally. The new Remington Triple Foil, the only shaver with 3 narrow micro screens. If you can grow it, we can shave it. Remington Triple Foil.
Do men have it easier than women? Or do females have the advantages in life? Find out when husbands and wives trade places Monday at 3 on Maury Povich here on WJAR Channel 10.
I really wish there was an easy way to meet other people.
With my schedule, I don't have time to go out and meet anyone.
Being single should be an option. not a life sentence.
It's difficult trying to find people who enjoy the same things I do.
If you're having trouble meeting compatible singles, call the Singles Line at 1-976-1200. Since 1989, we've helped thousands of people find that special someone. It's inexpensive, easy to use, and